Hey friends. So I just woke up. It's, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Hopefully you can hear me. It's been a rough couple of days where I live. We're totally fine. Luckily we live in an area that's completely dry, but there has been some pretty massive flooding. Pretty massive, like catastrophic flooding. I'll see if I can insert some like videos and pictures in the video here of what's been going on. But basically in the city that I live in, we have a lot of farmland, and there used to be a lake about 100 years ago that they drained to create more farmland. And there are dikes and pumps in place, but we had some massive rainfall and atmospheric rivers happening, and it over flooded all of the systems that are in place. You can hear the sirens in the background. We've just been hearing sirens for 3 days now, which if you follow me on TikTok, you know I get sirens a lot where I live, but it's been a lot worse lately. So I'm just watching a fire truck go up the hill. Yeah, so we had some crazy flooding and atmospheric rivers that just did a lot of damage on the systems that they have in place to keep the prairies dry, and it's just been overbearing for the dikes and the pumps that are in place. But the thing that matters right now is that there are hundreds of families that have lost their homes, they've lost their businesses. There's everything from vegetable farms to dairy farms to beef farms to pig farms and poultry farms down there. There are probably thousands of animals that have lost their lives in the last 3 days. And there are a lot of farmers that are just staying down there overnight and trying to save their livestock and trying to feed them. And it's really scary and it's really sad. It also dropped to -1 Celsius last night, so things are freezing. And then on top of that, this morning, where the flooding is, there is a large RV storage sales yard that caught on fire. So there are about 100 or more RVs that are on fire, which is the smoke that you guys see. And it's next to a propane filling station. So propane tanks have been exploding, and it's surrounded by floodwaters. So first responders are down there and they are doing their best. They're rescuing people from the prairies. They're trying to rescue animals. They're now battling this massive fire. And I just realized I probably shouldn't be outside because the smoke from the fire is toxic, and it's not blowing directly towards my house, but it is blowing like west of the fire, which my house is west of the fire. So this morning I woke up and took my dog for a walk, and I didn't know any of this. I came around the corner and watched a really nice sunrise, but there was a weird black snake looking cloud outside, and I was like, oh, that looks like smoke. So I came up to my house, which faces the direction, looked out the window, turned on the news, and realized that it was a massive fire. And we have a lot of friends in the city who are first responders who have been working tirelessly to save people and work on the situation. And there's another siren. We're also fully cut off from the neighboring town. Just gonna wait for that siren to pass. Fully cut off from the neighboring town, which is really sad because well, the main highway in Canada, Highway 1, goes through the town next to me and my town, and the roads are all closed, so that town is fully isolated. The highway is completely submerged under the flood. And a lot of people are separated from their families because if they were in my town when the flooding happened, now they can't get home, and vice versa. A lot of our friends that are first responders live in the neighboring town and work in my town, and so they're separated from their spouses and they're here just working 24/7 because they can't get home, and they're trying to help the situation. And it could be a week, we don't know. Thankfully today and yesterday it didn't rain, but it is supposed to rain over the next few days a little bit. And today we are watching the press conference and we're like in a pretty precarious situation where they need the water to go down by like a meter before they can open floodgates, which was gonna relieve some of the pressure of the water and the flooding. So we're all just like hoping that happens. And we've just been opening our home to friends who have been displaced by the floods, and so far no one has needed that, but we're just trying to do whatever we can to offer like help and support. And Ryan and I are staying away from where the flood is. A lot of people have gone down there to look, and people are kayaking in the water and boating in the water to go look around. Some people are boating to go save people, but some people are just boating to look, which is awful because they're impeding the first responders' ability to save and rescue the people that need it. Some of them are getting into situations where they themselves need to be rescued, which is then taking efforts away from the people who are stranded. And I just think of like a farmer down there. There's videos of farmers like pulling their cows out through like 5 to 7 feet of water, and I just imagine them freaking about their home and their family and their livelihood and their animals, and they're trying to save everything, and they're, you know, getting on a jet ski with a cow behind them or getting in a boat with a cow behind them trying to save their cow, to just look up and see a wall of people with their phones out that can't help you and that are getting in the way of the people that can help you is just so devastating. So I just feel really sad about everything that's going on, and thankfully I'm so grateful that our home is dry and we're safe and we live in a neighborhood that hasn't been affected by this. We're just really close to the one that has, and we're just seeing like crazy devastation. And we live in a place in BC where we just never really thought that this would happen. We don't get natural disasters, we don't get hurricanes, we don't live by the ocean. Kind of in the back of everyone's mind, they just kind of thought like, oh, we're untouchable. So it's just been a really hard couple days, and I feel really emotional, as you guys can tell, about everything, and my heart is just breaking, and I'm hoping that everyone's okay. We have a few friends that live in the prairies that have been super affected by this, and then we have a few friends that live right on the edge of the evacuation areas. So luckily they're at high enough ground that they don't need to be evacuated, but it's still scary to look out your window and see a lake where there should be roads and cars driving and farms and grass and a highway, like a major, the one major highway that goes all the way across Canada is underwater. There's also been a ton of air traffic because search and rescue is out trying to save people. So like where we live, I can hear one right now. There's just helicopters and planes and news aircraft, and there's aircraft taking the mayor around to get an aerial view of what's going on, and like it's just actually insane. And then this fire on top of everything this morning is just like blowing my mind, and I hope that everyone's okay, and I hope that all my friends who are first responders are okay and that they can get it under control. It's been burning for a lot of hours now, and it's a really dangerous situation because the fire is right underneath our main power line for the entire city. And on the press release this morning we saw that if the smoke is thick enough, the power lines can actually ground through the particles in the smoke. So anyways, my camera is gonna die, so I need to cut this off. But I just want to say, take care of your neighbors and hug the people that are close to you, and do what you can to support each other. And if you want to know what's going on here, comment below. I can direct you guys to some ways to help, even if you're not local, because our city definitely is going to need it.